Now, earlier, Free State Police spokesperson Lieutenant Mzwandile Masina gave us an update on the circumstances that led to the accident.
Investigation has been continuous. I've already alluded to that fact. And currently, we have revealed through the investigation that the bus drivers were indeed trying to swap the driving positions when the bus overturned. And the 31-year-old driver who was assisting the driver was taken in for questioning for his role in the accident, but he is not currently held under police custody. The other driver was still at the hospital today when our investigators visited him, but he was found to be in a stable condition. However, he couldn't talk to the investigating officer. Then we will proceed with this other driver and we will process him according to the requirements of our investigations. And at the later stage, we will be both charged for culpable homicide, depending on what's going to happen when we take the docket to the public prosecutor for decision whether they're going to put the court on the roll or not. At the present stage, we have not yet been able to release the names of the deceased who were taken to the state mortuaries in Bloemfontein yesterday. The 10 of them should be identified by their immediate family members as part of this investigation.
All right, so 10 people, 11 people confirmed dead. Any ideas how many people have been injured and are still receiving treatment?
The latest I received for today is that 5 who were at Bongani Hospital were discharged. And there are still the others who are still left at, about 2 has been left at Bongani Hospital, while the others were taken to Sasolburg. But they are still in a good condition. They are recovering very well. And I'm not sure about the others who were at Wynberg and the other hospitals.
Lieutenant, what do you know about this practice of drivers swapping seats whilst the bus is still in motion? Is this something that you've come across before?
It is the first time I come across such an incident in my career as a police officer. So I'm not 100% sure about whether this thing is an ongoing trend or is it a new trend.
All right, so your investigations, I'm sure, must have involved eyewitness accounts from passengers. Were they the ones that were able to assist you with coming to this conclusion that this actually is what happened?
Our investigations are going to involve anything that can give us clues as to what has happened in order for us to solve this case. We are not going to leave anything lightly. We are going to take in anything that can assist us solve this case in order to bring a concrete evidence before the court of law.
And finally, is there any culpability on the hands of the bus company itself, above and beyond just the drivers?
I cannot confirm that for now, Peter. It will also depend on what the investigation will reveal at a later stage, because on the scene there's supposed to be another investigation that are happening on the scene, and then from there we will see where we can fit the bus company on.
That was an earlier interview we had with Free State Police spokesperson Lieutenant Mzwandile Masina. Now, the ANC in Ekhurhuleni visited the victims' families and survivors and paid tribute to those who were killed. President Jacob Zuma has also extended his condolences to those who lost their loved ones. For more on this, we are joined in studio by the Ekhurhuleni ANC Chairperson, Mzwandile Masina. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, Ekhurhuleni has lost selfless cadres of the movement. How's the mood like in the region? I can imagine it's quite somber.
Yes, the mood is quite somber in the region. We went to the zone in Vosloorus where this incident happened. We've met with a number of volunteers of the ANC. we are quite saddened by what happened there. But we were well received by families, but also by volunteers who understood that those who passed on, they passed on in the line of duty. We are very much saddened as the ANC in the region, and we hope that things could have been done differently. We are following what is happening in terms of how this issue is being dealt with by the competent authorities. We will be making our views known as soon as we have all the facts before us.
You've mentioned that you met up with some of the families. Have the deceased all been identified at this stage?
Yes, all the deceased have been identified. There are 10. We will be receiving them tomorrow together with the family. They will be moving from the Free State, I think, early hours of tomorrow to be received at 10 a.m. in Germiston Mortuary. Thereafter, the families and the African National Congress will then be able to place them in the mortuaries that have been agreed to by all the parties. There will be an earlier meeting to discuss and finalize how we're going to handle this catastrophic event that has occurred in our region.
Now, what about those who have been injured? Have all of them now been transferred from the Free State to Gauteng hospitals, or are they still there?
Well, there is still 10 more who have survived. One is critical, the other 9, the one that is critical is in Bloemfontein. The other 9, they are scattered around the province. 30 have come back, and 15 of those are in hospital, because when we assessed their situation, we realized that they needed some attention. They have since been admitted in some of the hospitals in and around in Ekhurhuleni, just to make sure that they are well looked after.
I'd imagine that it's quite difficult for you at this stage to discuss the circumstances around the accident, but there's been confusion on what exactly happened. Have you received any more information into the investigation?
Well, our position has been very clear as a region. We're waiting for the competent law authorities to make determination and inform us. On the basis of that, we are going to be able to act, working together with the families. At this point, we don't want to really glorify the rumors, whether the drivers exchanged when the bus was in transit, because we don't have the facts before us. Once the authorities have collected that information, we will be able to act. But we're encouraged that already the law authorities are already making a move in this regard, and we respect them as a movement. We are waiting to get the report so that we're able to move forward with this issue, working together with their families.
Now, in terms of the funeral arrangements, is the organization involved? Is there going to be a mass funeral, or are you waiting on the families to decide for themselves?
Well, today we visited the families together with the provincial leadership. We have mooted the idea of the joint memorial service as well as the joint funeral, but we will be awaiting families to confirm. There is a meeting tomorrow, 9 o'clock, that is going to be looking into those things before we move to the mortuary. And we're hoping that we'll be able to work together very closely. But what the ANC has said generally is that we will respect the views or the will of the individual families, even though we have given this advice that we think that it will be an honorable thing to do, to assist that we bury our cadres with the respect that they deserve, because they did not deserve to die the way they have died.
Now, it's generally a difficult time for the organization. What sentiments does the party want to convey, to the rest of the country, and also just to the members in general about this and other things?
Well, we are calling for calm and unity within the structures of the African National Congress. And these volunteers would have gone there to PE just to hear from President Zuma about the promises that we are going to be making to the people of South Africa. And I have no doubt that in their honor, in the next coming local government elections, we are going to ensure that we perform much better than we have performed in 2014 as the region. And we are calling upon to all South Africans who want to honor these comrades to look into the African National Congress very closely, the manifesto that has been presented, because we are not a copycat movement. We are the movement that generates new ideas. What President Zuma was doing was addressing us as a nation in terms of what are the plans that we have for local government for the next 5 years, and we have no doubt that we have been able, working together as a movement collectively with our volunteers, to pull together a plan that is going to ensure that we deal decisively with poverty, unemployment and inequality that continue to persist.
Now, just keeping in line with what you've said about the manifesto, that was what the weekend was about, essentially, going to PE and launching this manifesto. And a lot of things happened there that could have almost, overshadowed the actual content of the manifesto. Just in terms of the main points there, what exactly is the ANC looking to achieve in these local government elections? Is it a case of saying that we really need to keep the municipalities that we currently have, or is it a thing of keeping what we have and also improving on what we don't have?
Well, like all other self-respecting organizations, we're looking to march towards victory with our people. We think that the delivery record of the ANC has been outstanding, and in fact, where we have been lacking as the ANC, we've been in the forefront of saying that we could have done things different. We're a respecting movement, and we think that South Africans must give us a chance to continue to govern. We have done very well looking into the record. In fact, our manifesto detail extensively what is it that we've been able to do, from providing basic services to looking at crime and corruption and all those issues. And we think that the movement have been able to put a very strong manifesto that will appeal with the majority of the people. And we still remain an organization that holds aspiration of our people. And we have no doubt that the process that we've undergone, very difficult and vigorous, will produce councillors that are going to be respected in our cities, metros as well as district, and they will work with communities to ensure that we change the lives of our people. And that's the mission of the African National Congress as we move towards the 3rd of August this year. And we're calling for all South Africans to support the African National Congress once again, because we have a plan on the table, as opposed to the opposition who always mimic what we say and what we do. We are very much clear what exactly we're going to be doing for the people of South Africa, working together with them to deliver change in South Africa.
Chairperson, thank you very much for joining us. We are definitely thinking of the organization at this time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was Ekhurhuleni ANC Chairperson Mzwandile Masina talking to us about the weekend accident that claimed the lives of ANC members.